unboxing. We'll start the review. It's going to be a quick one in terms of with this fragrance in particular, because again, I've tended to do more recently lots of EDP reviews and very popular or very decent fragrance lines. Now, again, much as I've mentioned in the past with EDTs, this is Ted Baker London. And many years ago, Ted Baker Original Skinwear, full title, and it's an EDT. Now, many years ago, I had a sample of this, and it was so powerful and just so different for me. Again, I was a younger guy back then. And I just thought there was something about it that made me want to purchase a bottle. And then for several years, I struggled to track down a bottle in retail. Obviously, you've got online, but again, Grandpa Simpson back in the day, you weren't always trusting of buying stuff online, you know, because you didn't know if you were going to get the real McCoy product, or, you know, it just, again, showing my age a bit, but there was a time that buying online was seen as harder work than buying in a shop, or you were more trustworthy, shall we say, of not buying fake products and so on. So this is the bottle that I got about 3 or 4 years ago. Still got a lot of it left, and that kind of tells you all you need to know, that it's not the same formula, or it's just slightly weaker. And again, this is a running theme with a lot of EDTs nowadays. They tend to be in terms of projection or radiance, they're decent for about an hour, half hour, and then they just fade away to nothing within the 3 to 4 hour mark. And I would say with how this is now in comparison to the older formula, it just doesn't perform at all. Like literally within an hour or two, it feels like, on my skin at least, it's completely going away. So yeah, it's long story short, I'll go through the notes. It's a fairly average fragrance, but I managed to find in BN store, and there's several others. Like again, if you buy this online, just going over the notes, it can vary from 20 to 30 pound for a 200ml. I believe this is 100ml. Let's see, yeah, 100ml. And in BM, I think it was like £7.99, £8.99, something like that, which is reasonable. And I think for that price, if you can find, as I said, I'm not name dropping, I'm just saying where I got this. The weird thing is it's a slightly different sticker. Sorry, this is the one I got from BN for £7.99. This is one that I bought several years ago. Now, again, you might not be able to pick up on the sticker quality. This could even be a fake from BM for all I know, but in terms of using them both, they're very similar in the smell. The smell's the same, I mean, but the performance is about the same. So that makes me think, well, they can't both be fakes, because again, I bought this online and bought this in BM, but you never know. But as I said, drawing comparison to years ago when I used it, this is not as good as it used to be. So in terms of if you can get it for like a tenner, from the 100 to 200ml for a 10 or 15 pound, maybe worth it, but you're literally gonna have to smash this on. So without further ado, this is the one online. This is the one that I've had longer than the other one. And again, even though they're different bottles, slightly different sticker, the smell is the same. We won't go into you know, I'll go over the notes first, and then I'll do the spray. Just so basically, I'll wrap the review up with it's a 5 out of 10. If it had the performance it had several years ago when I had the sample, I would give it a 7. But yeah, you know, it leaves a lot to be desired. And I thought I'd also show the difference in the actual bottles. The bottles are different colours as well. The logo is slightly different, and it's got like a matte texture on this, where this is more like a print off. Now, maybe because I bought this years ago, and maybe because of the company in terms of putting this out there and the money they're willing to spend, and maybe because they're looking at not getting much of a return, maybe they started to like scrimp on the label quality. That's all I can think of, because the actual contents are the same, and the longevity is like 1-2 hours and then it's gone. So you'd think I could just cut off the video at this point, but I just thought, you know, I'd give a heads up, and I'll go through the notes, because some of it is nice. That's the point I'm going to make why I give it a 5 out of 10, because the smell is nice whilst it's there, but you're literally going to have to hammer it on. So, you know, an alluring scent blending citrus top notes and rosemary and geranium with a woody base of vetiver, patchouli and amber. Skinwear Aftershave for Men by Ted Baker is a woody, aromatic, masculine EDT with top notes of zesty lime, bergamot and lemon. The heart notes that follow are aromatic rosemary, cypress and juniper with a lingering base of sandalwood, amber, musk and cedar notes. So I'll be honest, in terms of the breakdown of the ingredients, it's pretty decent. And as I said, the smell to me is nice. It's just the thing that's lacking that cuts down on 2 marks. And if you can get it cheaper, obviously it might even get a 6. But I just think that the longevity in terms of every EDT and EDP I've used recently is what lets it down. So it's a pure 5 out of 10. But as I said, if you can get this for, you know, a tenner, something like that, 10 to 15 pound, I think if you hammer it on, I know I'm just done the 3 sprays, I would say it's worth it. And even now, the radiance it projects off of me already is very pleasant. Again, having gone over the notes, it's more like a citrusy, fruity notes to begin with, or how I detect it. But there's the musk in the background, and it's just very clean. Again, just describing words to give you a kind of a heads up: fresh and clean, citrusy. And then when it dries down a bit, even as it's an EDT, it does slowly dry down, and then it brings out a bit of more the subtle notes, shall we say, which is surprising. But again, on me, on my body chemistry, my skin, within an hour or 2 it fades almost to nothing, and you really have to get in there, like literally. And I just think that lets it down big time, which is a shame, because the smell itself, if it was backed up with the even maybe if they sold it as an EDP, maybe that can, you know, that's a consideration. But maybe they didn't make enough money off the EDT, or it's not a popular enough fragrance to facilitate creating an EDP. Yeah, it's very pleasant already. And again, it's not me just becoming nose blind, it's just that radiance that was there. And again, it's not just me, there are other ones where I can be far away and the radiance still hits me. It's like within an hour it's just very faint. So yeah, I recommend it if you can get it for like 10-15 pounds for 100 to 200 ml. Otherwise I wouldn't bother, which is a shame really. But I'll end that there.